Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll talk about Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. We will go through the basic meaning and definition of negotiable instrument and as well as the governing act, which is NI Act 1881, and the major instruments which generally comes under negotiable instrument in India. So these are like check, bill of exchange, or promissory note, or apart from these, we will also discuss the important sections of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So again, this topic is very important for your upcoming examination. So do watch this particular video till the end. And if you like, please do share with your friends and do subscribe my channel. Okay. Guys, we will start with the negotiable instrument. So the first question is, what is negotiable instrument? Okay. So as the name state, it is negotiable in nature. Okay. So which can be negotiated. Okay. Let's say if you have make some payments to some other party, so you can pay by cash, or like if you do not have cash, so you can make that payment promise by using check, or by some other documents like bill of exchange or promissory note. Okay, so basically these are the documents which generally negotiate the or we can say which generally replace the cash. Okay, these are law abiding documents. So these are generally bounded by a certain law which is known as Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So you cannot make any false promise on these particular documents. Okay, let's say if any person who issue a check, and if he won't be able to make that clearance of that particular check due to any reason like insufficient funds and all, so there are some legal action can be taken against that particular person. Okay, as per the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Okay, so these are basically we can say these are documents. These are the written documents which generally make promise or which generally give order, and they are transferable in nature, we can say, and they are law abiding. So we have Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 who generally take care about these particular documents. Okay, so negotiable instrument are documents which promise payment to assignee, the person whom it is assigned or to given, or a specific person. Okay, so let's say if you issue a check to someone else, let's say if you issue a check to XYZ person, so XYZ person have that right, he can encash that particular check, or he can transfer that particular money in his account. Okay, and you cannot make any false promises on these particular documents. Negotiable means which can be negotiated. So here, with the help of these particular documents, you are negotiating the cash. Okay, so in other words, anything which is transferable from one person to another for consideration. Instruments means a written documents which by which a right is created in favor of a person or that XYZ person. Okay, so these are written documents where and these are bounded by Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 in India. So these are the legal documents. So in India, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 is responsible for governing negotiable instruments. This law define these instruments and also deal with each type by individuals. Okay, like for check is defined under section 6, bill of exchange is defined under section 5 of Negotiable Instrument Act, and promissory note which is defined under section 4 of Negotiable Instrument Act, or even we have some other important sections like dishonor of check or any dishonor of negotiable instrument, or the drawee rights. So we will cover these particular things in this particular video along with the basic introduction to negotiable instrument. I'll come with a detailed video on check or the different type of check, or the bill of exchange or the type of bill of exchange and all. Okay, so whenever you talk about the negotiable instrument or types, its type, so we have three major negotiable instrument. One is promissory note, which is defined under section 4 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. bill of exchange, which is defined under section 5, and check, which is defined under section 6. So in this video, as I told you, I'll give you a brief about these particular instrument, and in our upcoming videos we will discuss these particular instruments in detail. Okay, so what is check and what are the types of check, what is CDS, what are the new forms of check, or the IFSC, MICR, everything about check we will discuss in next video. Okay, so here this video is generally to make your understanding towards a negotiable instrument. So first one, promissory note, as I told you, it is defined under section 4 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So promissory note is a buyer documents. Basically, buyer issue this particular documents. Okay, so let's say there are two parties. One is buyer. So buyer is Mr. X. Okay, so Mr. X will issue this one, and another one is seller. Let's say it is Mr. Y. Okay, so Mr. X will issue this particular documents to Mr. Y, and he'll make some promise. So promissory means it is a promise document. So where Mr. X will make a promise, I, Mr. X, promise to pay this amount on this future date. Okay, in on behalf of the purchase of these particular goods. So these are generally issued by the purchaser of the goods or services. Okay, so here you can see this is a place, this is the format of promissory note. Date, so I, Mr. X, from the purchaser, agree and promise to pay this amount, pay to Mr. Y. So this is Mr. X, and this is Mr. Y. So I, Mr. X, agree and promise to pay Mr. Y, or order of some, let's say it is 10,000 rupees or euros, for value received with interest with annual rate of this percentage on payable date, on this future date. Okay, and this is the sign of makers. Okay, so like while we do this international trade or any trade related things, so these documents are used. So a promissory note refers to a written promise to its holder. Holder is Mr. Y in this particular case, by any entity or individual to pay a certain sum of money by a predetermined date, or it is a future date. I hope you get this particular thing clearly. So promissory note is basically we have three parties in this one. So one is issuer, another one is the receiver, and third one is bank. So bank will generally do this particular transactions. Okay, so I hope you get this particular thing clearly. Next one, section 5 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, which define bill of exchange. So again here, now bill of exchange, it is generally issued by the seller. Okay, so in case of promissory note, it is issued by buyer. But if you talk about the promissory note, so bill of exchange, it is issued by seller. So we have two parties. One is so let's say seller is again same. We'll give Mr. Y is seller, and buyer is Mr. X. Okay, so Mr. X who buy let's say some 4 lakh goods from Mr. X. So now who will issue this one? Seller will issue. Seller will pass an order to Mr. X, which is a buyer in this particular case. So I order to pay you. So in this particular case, these are generally issued by seller. So Mr. Y who sell 4 lakh rupees goods to Mr. X. So he will issue this one. I order to pay you this sum of money on this future date or on this given date. Okay, so 2 months after, pay to me or my order the sum of rupees 4 lakh only for value received. Okay, so he is generally making this particular things. So this is an order. Okay, so bill of exchange refer to a legally binding written document which instruct a party to pay a predetermined sum of money to a second or another party. I hope you get this one. So you have to remember buyer documents or seller documents. If you remember this, you will easily understand these particular one. Okay, so promissory note is like, it is very easy to segregate these two. Okay, so promise, you just remember the promissory note. So who will make promise? The buyer. So I promise to pay this amount in this future date, on this future date. And bill of exchange is the seller documents which is issued by seller. So I order to pay you this sum of money on this particular future date or after 1 month or 2 months. Okay, and it is defined under section 5. So it is a law binding, we can say, and it's a legal documents. Now third one is check. So check is very simple. We generally use this documents for the day-to-day transactions in our business or any personal uses as well. So a check is a document that order a bank to pay a specific amount of money from a person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. So let's say you issued a check, pay to Mr. X this sum of money. So let's say Y issue this particular one, pay to Mr. X for 4 lakh rupees, or this is the account number, or this is 4 lakh in terms as well, and signed by the issuing authority, or this Mr. Y. Okay, so signed by Mr. Y. Okay, so check is a negotiable instrument. Basically, it is followed by a Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Section 6. It is defined under Section 6. So it's a document which generally we can say which generally make a promise to pay to a party, and it is an order to bank. So bank, they have to execute this particular thing as well. Okay, so these are three documents, or three major instruments which generally comes under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Okay, and I'll do a video on these three documents separately. So I'll come with a video on check and the different type of check, or the CTS system, or the latest developments in check, or similarly for bill of exchange or promissory note. Okay, so now we'll talk about important sections of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So many times examiner, they generally ask question based on these sections. So you have to remember these one, and try you can jot down these particular sections as well, and try to remember these one. So first, all three we already discussed these particular one, so no need of further discussion. Section 4, which is related to promissory note. Section 5, bill of exchange is defined under Section 5, and check is defined under Section 6 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So we already covered these particular one. Let's move forward. Section 7 of the Act define drawer and drawee rights. Okay, so who is drawer and who is drawee, which is generally defined under Section 7. So drawer is who issue that particular check. Okay, so let's say in case of check, so you issue a check to me, so you are a drawer and I'm a drawee. Okay, or payee is bank in this particular case. Section 18, where amount is stated differently in figure and word. Okay, so like when you issue a check, so let's say you issue a 4 lakh rupees check. So this 4 lakh rupees is written in two way. First one is numeric 4 lakh this way. Okay, this way 4 lakh only, and another one is 4 lakhs only. Okay, or FOUR, 4 lakhs only. So this way. So this is a word and this is in numbers. So this thing, and if there is some mismatch in these one, okay, let's say you mentioned 4 lakh only and here you miss one zero. Okay, so this will be considered, and this is defined under Section 18. So if there is a mismatch between the word written and as well as the numerics, so first, like bank can dishonor this particular check, and if the issuer, they do not have any other documents or replacement of that particular documents, so in that particular case this will be approved by the bank also, because there is a less chances of the mistakes. Okay, so this differently in figures and word is generally defined under Section 18. Next one, Section 25. Maturity is a holiday. So this is basically for all negotiable. These sections are generally for all negotiable instrument. So let's say if the date on this negotiable instrument is suppose that 1st February 2023, and there is a national holiday on 1st February, or there is a bank holiday on 1st February. So what will be the next date for the encashment of that particular documents? So that is defined under Section 25. So as per the Section 25, the next date will be, or we can say bank will deem that particular money on 2nd of February 2023 if there is no holiday. Okay, so this thing is not defined under this section 25. So when the day on which promissory note or bill of exchange is a maturity in is a public holiday, the instrument shall be deemed to be due on the next preceding business day. Okay, so first was holiday, and let's say second is the working day for banks. So this money will be remitted on 2nd of February 2023. And this maturity is a holiday case is generally defined under Section 25 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So do remember these particular one are very very important. Section 45. Now we'll talk about Section 45 of Negotiable Instrument. Holder right to duplicate of lost bill. So if let's say that bill of exchange is issued and it is missed, or it is like it got fired, or it got torn. So in any cases when the holder lost that particular bill, so to duplicate that particular bill, so these rights are generally reserved under Section 45 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Next one. So this is again very very important section. So many time examiner asks question based on these three. So section 91, dishonor of non-acceptance of negotiable instrument, and 92, non-payment, dishonor by non-payment, dishonor by non-acceptance. If it is not fulfill the guidelines of acceptance, if it is not fulfill the guidelines of payments. So, and section 135, dishonor of check for insufficiency of funds in the account. So if there is insufficient funds, so that check will be dishonored by the bank, and it generally defined under section 138. So again these sections are very very important, and this section asked so many times. Section 138 is generally asked so many times by the examiner in different examination. Okay, so guys, these were some basic or some important sections with related to the negotiable instrument. So in this video we generally talk about these one. I try to give you an basic idea about the negotiable instruments. What is negotiable instrument? What are the major negotiable instruments like promissory note, check, and bill of exchange? So what is the basic definitions of all these three, and what are the important sections of negotiable instruments? So for examination viewpoint, this is the most important video. Okay, there are so many time examiner they generally ask question based on sections about act, or about important sections, or the basic things about these documents. Okay, now in our next video, or in coming three videos, we'll talk about check, or the different type of check, or the CTS system and all. And similarly we'll go for the promissory note and the different type of promissory note. Okay, so like personal, commercial, real estate, investment, and other type as well. Okay, and similarly for bill of exchange as well. So bill of exchange and the different type of bill of exchange like demand bill, ausence bill, inland bill, clean bill, foreign bill, and we have trade bill, supply bill. So what are these particular categories, and along with the bill of exchange definition. Okay, so I hope you now you get an idea about the negotiable instrument. What is negotiable instrument? What are the major negotiable instruments which we generally use on day-to-day activities? Okay, or for business purpose, and the important sections about negotiable instrument. Okay, still if you have any query, please do mention in comment section. So from next three videos, in our next three videos, we are going to decode a check system or different type of check, bill of exchange, and promissory notes and their types as well. Okay, so do watch those videos as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the video. If you like, please do mention in comment section, and do share this session with your friends so other can also watch. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. So this is it from my side. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye. Take care all. Have a nice day. Thank you.